Welcome back to OT Sports. Today we got our Week 9 college basketball Power 40 rankings. Very excited for this video. We got a lot to talk about. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got plenty of content around here this time of year. College basketball, college football, NFL, and NBA every single week. We also do MLB content when that season comes around. So yeah, just a bunch of content. Make sure you subscribe, tune in, turn on the notifications to make sure you don't miss out on any of those uploads. As always, my Discord and X are linked in the description. You can join that, you can follow that, whatever you'd like to do. Thank you so much for the support recently. Really appreciated it. But yeah, I think that's all I got for the intro. Let's just get right into the video. Number 40 in the rankings, I have TCU. I still have TCU in the rankings. Their KenPom numbers are looking alright. 45th in offense, 31st in defense. Looking at their record, they're 11-2, but when you look at their resume, they don't really have that standout win. The two good teams that they've played, Nevada and Clemson, they both lost. They lost to Clemson by 8 and then Nevada by 13. So they don't really have a good win. Their best win is probably against Georgetown. And Georgetown isn't that great of a team. They're 7-6. They also have a win over Arizona State. That might, they're 8-5, so I guess that's their best win. But yeah, just not really a good win. The KenPom's decent. Their record's nice. They haven't lost to a team that they should have lost, or they shouldn't have lost to. So they're taking care of business, I guess. But heading into Big 12 play, they got a game this week at Kansas. I'm not really too confident for them in that one, but if they can pull that out, they'll definitely be in the top 25. But yeah, just heading into Big 12 play, I'm not really too confident for them. They really haven't shown me that they can beat a good team. Emmanuel Miller has been really good for them. Senior forward, he's been good, but really, I don't know, just kind of a question mark there. Northwestern at 39. Looking at them, they're 10-2, so similar record to TCU, but they have a win over Purdue in overtime, but they do have a loss to Chicago State. So I don't know. You can take what you want from that. They also have a loss against Mississippi State, and I will say people have been telling me to rank Mississippi State. Mississippi State's right there, if I'm being honest, outside the top 40. The offense for them has been really improving. Just talk about Mississippi State real quick. The offense has been getting a lot better, so I really like to see that. That was kind of my worry with them. And they're definitely, I mean, they're probably 41, 42 if I had to, because New Mexico, another team that's right there. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. They're like right there. Northwestern, efficiency wise, not the best. 77th offense, 53rd defense. This is kind of a team similar to TCU. I'm not too confident heading into conference play, but we will see how it goes for them. Arkansas at 38. This is a team with all the potential in the world, just haven't really been executing it so far this season. I will say they're 9-4. They got a little win streak going. They got 3 easy games out the way, and all 3 of them were really kind of closer than you would have thought. 3-point win against Lipscomb, 10-point win against Abilene Christensen, 16 against UNC Wilmington. So that is a little bit worrisome, but like I said, they have such a high potential to be good. They just really haven't been executing. Maybe it's just because they haven't been playing as a team. Tron Mark, he's been very good for them. He has been, he was injured for a little, but he's back now and he's been really good for them. But yeah, I don't know this Arkansas team. They could I feel like they're kind of gonna be one of those teams that, because we see this kind of team all around college basketball, one of those teams that doesn't necessarily, impress against bad teams. They kind of struggle. Sometimes they might lose, but against good teams, they do really well. Now they obviously haven't won every game against good teams, but they do have some good wins. Um, yeah, I don't know. This Arkansas team is definitely a question mark. If they can figure it out heading into SEC play, they could definitely. I mean, they have the potential to move very high up these rankings, but as of right now, I got to keep them down here with the 4 losses. Um, Virginia, man, this is another team. They're now on a 2-game losing streak, 10-3, sixth overall defense, but offense outside the top 150. Yes, that's right. Outside of the top 150, they're in the bottom half um, of the country when it comes to offense, which is not what you want to see from a Virginia team. Usually the defense is good, but yeah, they just lost to Notre Dame. Lost 2 of their last 3. It's just not great. I mean, they don't have much going on offense. The defense has been elite as always, but if they can get more going on offense, Reese Beekman can't really do it all. He's averaging 13 points per game as their leading scorer. They gotta figure that out a little. Michigan State, similar to Arkansas, they have all the potential in the world, but I'm actually more confident in Michigan State than I am in Arkansas just because of the preseason hype, and we've seen them succeed with this team. Arkansas, we really haven't seen them succeed last season. I think they were like an 8 or 9 seed in the tournament. They won. They did. They did. Didn't they? They might have. I think they made the Sweet 16 and then got obliterated by UConn. So they did beat Kansas. So I guess we have seen the success from this team. Same with Michigan State though. They took down the 2 seed Marquette. So we've seen both these teams succeed. For Michigan State, though, I like the resume more, and the efficiency is a lot better. I mean, compared to Arkansas, it's not even close. 36th in offense, 15th in defense. Tyson Walker, A.J. Hoggard, obviously leading the charge. Tyson Walker's been amazing, 20 points per game. They just picked up a big win against Indiana State. That might not sound like a huge win, but the analytics really love them. They're now 11-2. Indiana State's actually a really good team. Their only losses are to Alabama and Michigan State, but no, they're a very good team. They've been blowing teams out. Now they really haven't played anyone else besides those two, but they've been blowing them out. And it was pretty close with Michigan State for a while. They did end up losing by 12, but they held their own. I mean, they were winning. I mean, they were in the game until about like 5 minutes left in the second half. But I mean, they were right there the whole time. Michigan State pulled out late. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm more confident in this Michigan State team than teams like down here at the bottom like Northwestern, TCU, Arkansas, Villanova, another team similar to Michigan State and Arkansas. They have a lot of potential and they have some nice wins, but they also have some bad losses. 9-4 record now. Um, they're on a 3-game win streak, so that's good for them. Um, yeah, just a little bit worrisome. I mean, I'm cautiously excited to see what they can do in Big 12 or not Big 12, Big East play. They're 39th in offense, 17th in defense. Very solid all around team. Nevada at 34. Nevada's been doing really good. They're 13-1, and they have some good wins. Like I said, they beat TCU. That's not a bad win. Beat Washington. Washington being Gonzaga. So they've played some. Now they really haven't played too many good teams. Their only loss is to Drake, who not. I mean, Drake's 11-2. They're probably gonna win their conference, the Missouri Valley. Um, them or Indiana State, but Nevada. Besides that, heading into Mountain West play, they are looking very scary. They could definitely compete. I mean, the Mountain West is looking really good this year. Nevada up there, San Diego State inside my top 25. Same with Colorado State. You got New Mexico, who's just waiting to get in the top 40. They could get in any week now. Um, Nevada has got 2 very solid offensive options in Jared Lucas and Keenan Blackshear, both averaging over 16 points per game. Nevada's actually looking like a very good team. They are definitely looking to be a tournament team this year. Just inside the top 60 in offense and just outside the top 30 in defense. So, very solid metrics. 13-1 record. You got to respect that. Iowa not Iowa State, Ohio State at 33. Continue to win 11-2, but this is kind of I'm a little worried heading into conference play for Ohio State. As you know, I am an Ohio State fan. I have them higher than Northwestern, but I think they're very similar. That they don't have as big of a win as Northwestern had over Purdue, but they don't really have as bad of a loss. Northwestern losing to Chicago State just can't happen. Uh, Ohio State's only losses are to Texas A&M second game of the year, and Penn State on the road. Big Ten road games are always tough. Um, they just picked up a really close win against West Virginia, though. That was a little worrisome. But they have some solid wins. UCLA, Alabama's a pretty good win. Alabama's just outside the top 40 as well. Bruce Thornton's really stepped it up for them offensively. Roddy Gale Jr. has been great. Jamison Battle's been really good. Zed Key continues to dominate rebounding and interior defense. Um, Ohio they're looking pretty solid, just all around. You know, Offensively, just outside the top 20. Defensively, just outside the top 40. Very, very solid. Um, Definitely, probably going to be a tournament team. Texas A&M at 32. They're just above Ohio State for the reason that I mentioned. They beat Ohio State, but Texas A&M is 9-4. This was a team I was very excited about and very confident about. Pre, you know, Looking into the season, like preseason, I was very high on them. Uh, they're not looking as good as I thought they would with Wade Taylor. He's been really good, 18 points per game, but I don't know, just they don't look the same as last year. Last year they were finished second as in the SEC, made the tournament as a 7 seed, did lose in the first round, but yeah, I don't know what it is. Wade Taylor's been great, but the rest of the team just hasn't been all that special. Um, Now they are on a two-game win streak. Heading into SEC play, hopefully they can pick up some pretty big wins. Feel like they just need a little bit of a hot streak to kind of get back into it. Number five overall offense, 81st in defense. It's not gonna get it done defense wise, but the offense is elite. Wade Taylor's leading the charge, like I mentioned. Miami at 31. They're another one, kind of very similar to Texas A&M. I was high on them coming into the season. Now this is a little different. They're not 9-4. They're 10-2, but they really just haven't looked good. They're two good teams that they played, Kentucky and Colorado. They got blown out. Their best win is probably Kansas State. Heading into ACC play, they will have a chance to change that. They play Clemson at home tomorrow. If they can get a win there, that will probably put them inside the top 25 heading into next week. But their January schedule is actually looking pretty easy. They got Clemson. That's probably their toughest game. But the rest of the state, I mean, the ACC is not very, very good this year. The the February schedule is a lot tougher. But looking at this January, if they have 9 games, if they can come out with like 7 wins, putting them at 17-4, that would be very good. Because I mean, I think it's reasonable. They could definitely lose to Clemson. Um, Pitt's gonna be a tough game on the road against NC State, on the road against Syracuse, and then Wake Forest. But I think they should be able to win at least half of those. So that would put them at probably 6-3, even 6-3, 16-5 coming out of this. That would be pretty good to start out ACC play for them. James Madison continues to just kind of sit in this little range from 26 to 30. I'm not sold. I'm not quite ready to put them inside the top 25, just because I mean the only thing going for them is the first game of the year win over Michigan State. I mean, what's their next best win? Fresno State. Uh, I mean, yeah, they just haven't. I mean, they haven't played anyone. I mean, literally nobody. The efficiency's not there. Um, 31st in offense, 128th in defense. The offense looks good, I will say, but the defense just scares me a lot. It's just I mean, they continue to win, so I can't really move them out of the top 40. But at this point, I'm kind of just waiting. Iowa State at 29. This is a team that I'm waiting for them to get their big win. Once they get that big win, they'll be up a lot higher than this. I can tell you right now. I'm really liking this Iowa State team. They're figuring it out on the offensive side of the ball, which I said they desperately needed to, and they will have a very good chance to pick up a good win in this. I mean, Big 12 conference play is about to start. They got a game Saturday on the road against Oklahoma, and then 2 days or 3 days after that, they have to play Houston, who is undefeated. They also play BYU, Kansas, and TCU this month. Very tough schedule. The Big 12 is obviously a tough conference, but if they can win some of those, I'm telling you, this team can definitely be dangerous. Number 3 overall defense, 46 in offense, but that's been going up. Trending in the right direction. They continue to get it done. Very, very impressed with this Iowa State team. If they can pull it off against Oklahoma, they will definitely be inside the top 25 next week. Utah continues to win, 11-2. They have some good wins. They have a win over BYU. They just took down Washington State and Washington, both teams with very solid records. They won both of those games. I said those were going to be tough ones. They won both. This Saturday they have a game on the road against Arizona. Similar to Iowa State, this team is very solid. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Efficiency-wise, again, very solid. 19th in offense, 45th in defense. Very, very good. I'm just kind of waiting for them to get that big win, and they'll have the chance to go into Arizona and prove to me why they deserve to be in the top 25. And, like I've been saying with some of these teams, if they can win that game, they will most likely be inside the top 25. Um, and, probably pretty safely in there, too. Um, Colorado at 27. Similar to the last two teams I've been talking about. They continue to win 11-2, and they have a game on the road against Arizona as well. Arizona's kind of been stumbling a little bit recently. Colorado just took care of business against Washington State and Washington. They will have a chance to prove that they belong. KJ Simpson has been amazing for them. Tristan Da Silva, I'd like to see a little more from him. I was hearing a lot about him preseason. Like to see him step it up. If they can get him going and their offense to continue to get better and better, this team will be scary. I mean, 28th in offense, 27th in defense. Just that's really good efficiency wise. So I'm really high on this Colorado team. I was all preseason. I think they could definitely beat Arizona. I'm not putting it past them. Creighton at 26. This is a team with all the potential in the world. They just been hitting a little bit of a tough streak. Lost 3 of their last 4. They lost to UNLV on the road. That's tough. They did beat Alabama, but then lost to Villanova, and then obviously they lost on the road against Marquette. They looked really good in that game. They did lose though, and on the road against Marquette, that's very tough. So I didn't want to blame them too much. I just felt like they needed to drop out of the top 25 just because I saw a little bit more of the teams in front of them, and I wanted to respect the teams in front of them. So obviously that's a tough game to win on the road against Marquette, but Baylor Shireman, Trey Alexander, Ryan Kalkbrenner, all very solid. You know what you're getting from this team. 21st in offense, 21st in defense. I mean, that's just like I said. If you want to be a true title contender in my eyes, you got to be top 20 in offense and defense. And Creighton is just, I mean, one spot outside for both. So yeah, I'm not worried about this team heading into conference play. They need to win this game against Providence at home against Saturday. If they lose that one, I might start worrying a little bit. But if they can get that one done, I will feel a lot more confident. I still am very confident in this team, but I'm just saying if they lose the Providence game and move to 10-5, because I'm assuming they beat Georgetown today, um, that would be a little tough. I mean it's at home. If they can win that one, they'll be back in the top 25 for sure. Moving into the top 25, Gonzaga at 25. They continue to lose. I'm this close to just getting off of Gonzaga entirely. 9-4 now. They just can't really beat a good team. I mean, their best win is probably USC, or UCLA. That's not at the time those were good wins, but USC is 6-7. Um, UCLA is 6-7 as well. So I don't know. They looked good against Purdue when they played, but that was a while back now. That was almost Thanksgiving time. We're in 2024 now. They looked alright against UConn, but they lost by 13. They lost to Washington, who's, not the best Pac-12 team. It was on the road, and then they lost at home against San Diego State this week. I don't know what to think about this Gonzaga team. Graham Ike's been really good, but yeah, like I said, it's a little worrisome. 25th in offense, 38th in defense, not really dominating in anything. I'm starting to worry a little about the Zags. San Diego State, however, 11-2. I'm really liking. That was a huge win going into Gonzaga, getting that one done. 35th in offense, 20th in defense. Very, very solid. They can pick it up a little bit on offense. They will, Jaden Leedy has been amazing. They can get, Reese Waters or Micah Parrish to step it up even a little bit more, or maybe one of their other guys. I mean, this team, the Mountain West is looking really good this season. Providence at 23, 11-2. They continue to get it done against teams. They beat Marquette, so it's not like they haven't played anyone. But yeah, they continue to win. Very, very impressive. 11-2 record. Was not expecting this from this team. The defense has been elite. Top 5 defense. Offensively, outside the top 100. That's just not going to cut it. And going into Big 12 play, that worries me a little. I'm worried for their game on the road against Creighton. I just don't see a world where they win that one with the offense just being as bad as it is and Creighton being as solid as they are on the road too. If they can win that one and prove me wrong, they will definitely move up a lot higher, but I don't know. We will see. Auburn at 22. This is the team. I'm telling you, this team is dangerous. They continue to just slowly move up the rankings. They're 15th in offense, 19th in defense, 8th overall in KenPom. 10-2. Bruce Pearl's really coaching this team up. Johnny Broome has been leading the charge offensively, 15 points per game. Jalen Williams has been really good too. Who's their other guy? Aiden Holloway. They're averaging almost 85 points per game. It's just they're a really good team. Heading into SEC play, I would not want to play them. They are hot right now. Speaking of hot, Ole Miss still hasn't lost, 13-0. They will have a game on the road against Tennessee. We will see how legit this team is. At this point, they haven't played anyone still through 2 months. I mean, they have played Memphis. They beat Memphis. But besides that, they haven't played anyone. So we will see how legit this team is. If they can go on the road to Tennessee, who is inside the top 5 AP poll-wise, if they can get that win, Ole Miss will be, maybe top 10. I mean, that win would really just send a message, but I don't see it. I don't expect them to. Matthew Morrell, 17 points per game. He's been really good. Alan Flanagan, I think that's how you say his name. He's been good too. It's just kind of, they just haven't played anyone, and efficiency-wise, they're not too impressive either. I can't even find them. I'm looking for them right now. I don't know what they are efficiency-wise. The offense looks pretty good from what I've seen. We're just gonna move on. I can't seem to find Ole Miss on here. I don't know. Maybe they're just as bad. Maybe they're just really bad. I don't know. I literally just can't. Just disappeared. So moving on. Number 20 Texas. They very worrisome. Um, they still don't have a ranked win. They still don't have a good win. Yeah, I don't know about this team, man. They have a lot of potential. Max Amos has been really good for them, but heading into Big 12 play, I haven't been too impressed. They're 29th in offense, 48th in defense. Wisconsin moving up Wisconsin moving up to number 19. They are 9-3, and heading into Big 12 or Big 10 play, I think they can definitely make some noise in this conference. They are a really good team, very solid. 13th in offense, 37th in defense. If they can get a couple more stops defensively, they will be a very scary team. AJ Store's been really good, 15 points per game. Baylor at 18. Again, I'm not sure. This isn't the typical Scott Drew team. 10-2, that is a good record, but they did just get blown out last week by Michigan State. And yeah, this Baylor team is still a question mark for me. Third in offense. The defense has been getting it together. 65th now. They were, I think, outside the top 100 last time I looked. So that's a good sign. If they can continue to get better on defense, I will definitely start respecting this team more. Colorado State at 12-1. The reason I mean, you see BYU and Colorado State kind of just together in the AP poll as always. The reason I'm lower on Colorado State is just because the defense is just so bad. I don't want to say so bad, but 87th, it's not, it's not something to to be impressed with. 11th in offense, however, that's very good. And yeah, they're usually together with BYU. I don't see it. I think BYU is definitely better. Um, but Colorado State will have a chance to really send a statement. They play New Mexico tonight. That's going to be a really good game. Both those teams 12-1, looking for something to prove. Um, I'm going to be very intrigued to watch that. FAU, man, they get up inside the top 25 and then they lose a game they shouldn't. They lost to FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast, on the road. Yeah, it's just, I mean, 14th in offense is really good, but 47th in defense, you just can't have that. Because if you have an off night shooting or offensively, can't you just can't trust this defense for them. Um, Now it's not like it's bad. I mean, 47th, that's better than most teams. But if you want to be a legit Final Four contender like they were last year, you know, a little bit more. John L. Davis has been great for them. Um, but yeah, offensively it looks great. It's just they keep losing these games they shouldn't lose. Clemson at 15, 11-1. They're gonna have this week's tough for them. Two games on the road against Miami and UNC at home. If they can win one of those, they'll be in a really solid spot. That's a tough 2 game stretch. PJ Hall has been amazing. He might be ACC Player of the Year right now. That might be a little bit of a stretch, but 21 points per game. That's really good. Clemson, efficiency wise, 16th in offense, 35th in defense. Very very good. That's actually higher than I thought they were defensively. Um, so that's pretty impressive. Duke continues to move up, 9-3. I'm slowly starting to get back on this Duke train. 4 game win streak now, heading into ACC play. I think that's what they needed. They got a game against Syracuse tonight, though. That's a tough one. Syracuse is 10-3. Syracuse is typically a good team. No more Jim Boeheim coach though, so so that's a tough game. But I think they should be able to win this. I mean, it's in Cameron Indoor. Kyle Filipowski, 18 points per game, 9 rebounds. Jeremy Roach, Jared McCain. I mean, they got all the names. Tyrese Proctor, Mark Mitchell. I mean, that's a really good 5 guys right there, all over 10 points per game. They also have Caleb Foster, who almost is at 10 points per game. This Duke team, I'm telling you, this team is definitely going to make some noise. Ninth overall in efficiency, 10th in offense, 28th in defense. This team is a very good team, and they continue to win. Memphis at 13, they continue to win as well. 11-2. They have really good wins. Their only losses to undefeated Ole Miss and Villanova, who's inside the top 25 or top 40. Sorry, but they have a win over Arkansas. They have a win over Texas A&M, over Clemson, over Virginia. This team's really good. Efficiency wise too, they're pretty high up there. Um, Offensively, they got to pick it up. Just outside the top 50 in offense, and then 30th in defense. I might be a little too high on Memphis now that I'm looking at it, but I don't know. The resume is really good, so I have them up here. BYU at 12. This team continues to just climb the rankings. They have a game next week, so I guess I won't talk about this, but they do play Baylor on the road next week. Yeah, they continue to win 12-1. Their only loss is on the road against Utah, which a team who's just outside the top 25. They have a win over San Diego State, who you can see at 24. But the strength for them, not so much the resume. Efficiency-wise, they're now third overall efficiency-wise, only behind Houston and Purdue. They're sixth in offense, 10th in defense, top 10 in both. They're one of three teams to say that they are top 10 efficiency-wise in both. Those two other teams are Purdue and Arizona. And yeah, I mean they're 12-1. Being 12-1 and being top 10 in offense and defense, you can't just ignore that. That is some elite numbers. They're one of three teams. I mean, that's elite company. Purdue's number one overall. I'm spoiling that right now. And Arizona's inside the top 10, as you can probably tell. We'll get to them in a little. Can't just ignore that. I know their resume isn't the strongest, but Utah, that was a close loss on the road. Utah's a really good team, and they beat San Diego State, so BYU's really solid. Oklahoma continues to win as well. 12-1, 51st in offense, 12th in defense. They need to get it going on offense a little. That's concerning. I don't like them being that low in offense. You just can't really have that if you want to be a legit team. I'm a little worried for them heading into Big 12 play. They got a really tough 3-game stretch here. Iowa State, TCU on the road, Kansas on the road. If they can win one or two of those, they'll be in really solid shape. I am a little worried that they might drop all three. Otega Oweh's been really good. Same with Javian McCollum. I think that's how you say it. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I'm sorry. But yeah, this team continue to win. I gotta respect them. I got them at 11. 10th, UNC. Yeah, RJ Davis has been leading the way offensively, almost 22 points per game. Armando Bacot. I mean, losing Caleb Love has been really good for them. Which is, I mean, that's no diss to Caleb Love. He's a great player, but UNC just continues to look more like a team. They're 9th in offense, 39th in defense. They need a little bit more out of Bacot defensively. He is averaging almost 2 blocks per game. If one of the other guys can kind of step it up, Bacot has 11 rebounds too per game. It's really good. And yeah, UNC at 10. 9th, we got Arizona. Now this team is concerning. I'm starting to get a little bit off this Arizona hype train. When you look at their resume, they have a win on the road against Duke. That's a great win. Win over Michigan State. Okay. Win over Wisconsin. That's really good. Lost to Purdue. That's a great. I mean, that's the best loss you could have, and it was pretty close. Win over Alabama. That's pretty good. Lost to FAU. Not the best, but obviously FAU is inside the top 25. Lost on the road against Stanford. See, that's where they're starting to lose me a little. 10-3 now. They've lost 2 of their last 4. They are starting to lose me. Efficiency-wise, it's still looking amazing. I mean, it's elite. 8th offense, 7th in defense. Caleb Love has been leading the charge offensively, 17 points per game. Omar Ballo has been great for them at the center position. It's just a little worrisome. Now, they have a pretty easy stretch starting. Well, actually, no, they don't. I was going to say they have an easy stretch, but Colorado and Utah, those are both teams just outside the top 25, and they're hungry for a big win. So that's not an easy stretch whatsoever. But after that, things do lighten up a little. Washington State, USC, UCLA, Oregon State, Oregon, all should be wins, if we're being real. Illinois at 8. Yeah, I mean, they continue to get it done. 10-2. They play Northwestern today. It's gonna be a tough one, but I definitely think that they can win that for sure. Um, they have it at home, and then later this week they play Purdue on the road. That's gonna be really tough. They can somehow pull that out. I mean, they probably deserve to be top five. Um, yeah, this Illinois team is legit. 18th in offense, 18th in defense. I said, if you want to be contending for a title, you have to be top 20 in offense and defense, and Illinois has that going for them. So Illinois continues to climb the rankings. Marquette, seventh now. They had just picked up a really big win against Creighton. Nice bounce back. Last week they lost to Providence, so that was pretty tough. But they picked up a big win against Creighton, and it looks like they're back on track. They have a loss on the road against Wisconsin. They have a loss to Illinois, or not a loss to Illinois. Sorry, they have a loss to Purdue. Um, they're 11-3 though, and with a schedule like this, win over Creighton, win over Texas, win over Illinois, win over UCLA, win over Kansas. That's a really good. I mean, they probably have the best resume out of any team. Well, maybe Purdue, but um, this Marquette team is elite. I mean, they just are seventh. I got them ranked seventh. Now the offense needs to step it up a lot. The defense has been surprisingly eighth, but the offense 26th. Not what you expect. Last year, I think they were first. They still got Tyler Kolek, so I don't know what's going on. I definitely do expect them to figure it out. It's not been bad at all. I mean, they're 26th or something around there, whatever I just said. It's not been bad or anything. It's just not what you expect from them. Tennessee, I have at 6. Um, yeah, they're a really good team. I feel like I've been saying about all these teams, but I mean it is the top 10, so they are all really good teams. Dalton Knecht leading the charge offensively, 16 points per game, 32nd in offense. They need to figure that out a little bit, but second overall in defense. That's really solid. Fifth, I got Kentucky. I have them as the highest ranked SEC team, and I'll tell you why. They are 10-2. Tennessee is 9-3, so they have that over them. Kentucky has a win over UNC, close loss on the road against Kansas, and a win over Miami. Now Tennessee's resume is very solid, but Kentucky doesn't have as many losses as Tennessee. Now I will say Kentucky does have the worst loss, looking at the two, but they also probably have the best win. Kentucky took down UNC. Tennessee's best win is probably Tennessee did beat Illinois, so I guess Tennessee and Kentucky are right there. But I do have Kentucky one spot ahead. I would definitely consider switching them. Um, they're right there, both of them. Tennessee is higher, efficiency wise. Kentucky's got to figure it out on defense, 7th in offense. So I probably would put Tennessee at 5th and Kentucky 6th, but too late to switch it now. UConn at 4. The top 4 didn't move from last week. UConn continues to win, continues to look great, 11-2. Tristan Newton's been their go-to guy. He's been great for them. UConn, 6th overall in efficiency, 4th in offense, 24th in defense, just outside the top 20. They could definitely get it in there. Houston, number 1 overall KenPom-wise. They're undefeated still, 13-0, but they start Big 12 play. Now, they're going to have an easy first game against West Virginia, kind of get warmed up to it, but their stretch, I mean, looking at this Big 12, I don't know how this conference, man, this is something else. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you the records of all the teams in the Big 12. 13 and 0, 12 and 1, 12 and 1, 12 and 1, 11 and 2, 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 10 and 2, 9 and 3, 9 and 3, 7 and 5, 5 and 8. They have one team under 500, and the rest of them, I mean, almost. I mean, besides four teams, they have all teams double-digit wins, only two losses. That is just ridiculous. So Houston will have the easiest matchup they could get against West Virginia, but after that, next week, the Big 12 is just gonna have a ridiculous schedule altogether. But yeah, Houston, number one overall defense. They've been elite, 17th in offense, just dominant. Haven't lost a game yet. Kansas at 12 and 1, only lost to Marquette. Win over Tennessee, that's huge. Win over Kentucky, that's huge. Two top six wins, which is ridiculous. They also have, I guess they have three top six wins because they beat UConn as well. I forgot about that. So that's just crazy. Um, yeah, Kansas is just been dominant. When you look at efficiency, though, they're not as high as you'd think. Offensively, they haven't been great. 37th, fourth in defense has been that's crazy. But offensively, they need I don't know. Kevin McCullough, Hunter Dickinson, KJ Adams, elite trio. But besides that, they don't really have anything else. They don't have a lot of depth. So if they were to get in foul trouble or something like that, come tournament time, they could definitely run into some issues. That's how they almost lost um, to Indiana on the road when they played. Purdue at number one still. Zach Edey, 23 points per game, 10 rebounds. Braden Smith, Fletcher Loyer. Purdue's a lot better than they were last year, and they were a one seed last year. Zach Edey is better than he was last year, and the guard play is just a completely different level. I mean, it's ridiculous how much these guards have grown. Last year, they were all freshmen. Fletcher Loyer, um, Braden Smith, they have been great shooting the ball. 13 points per game, 12 points per game, and they also have Lance Jones, another guard, with 11 points per game. This is the recipe. Give it to Zach Edey in the middle. If he gets doubled, find the open shooter. He'll make it. He won't 100% make it, but you know what I mean. They're a lot better shooting-wise than last year. I mean, they've gotten better from last year, and they were a one seed now. I know they lost in the first round, but this team, I'm telling you, if there's any Purdue team to make it far, I mean, we've seen Purdue teams make it far with Carson Edwards and guys like that, Jaden Ivey. If there was a Purdue team to win it all, it might be this team. I don't know, something about it. I mean, they're one of three teams top 10 in both offense and defense efficiency wise. Second in offense, ninth in defense. That's ridiculous. And they only have one loss. So, on the road against Northwestern, Big Ten road games are ridiculously tough. But Purdue win over Gonzaga, win over Tennessee, win over Marquette, win over Alabama, win over Arizona. So they're gonna be just fine. They do have a tough game though at home against Illinois later this week. They do have a tough game today too on the road against Maryland, who has been hot, but do expect them to win both those games. Purdue's been the number one team, in my opinion, by a lot. So I think they're in a tier of their own right now. So I got Purdue at 1. So yeah, that's going to do it for the Week 9 College Basketball Power 40 rankings. These videos are as long just because I love talking college basketball, and this is kind of my strength. This is like the one sport that I keep up with the most, or at least I try to. College football I do a lot too, but I guess I do for NFL and NBA, but just not as much as college basketball. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We got plenty of content, college basketball, college football, NFL, NBA every week. We also do MLB. As always, my Discord and X are linked in the description. You can join that, follow that, whatever you'd like to do. But I will see you guys tomorrow with NFL. Actually, we got a weird schedule this week just because I couldn't record yesterday. New Year's Day, I was spending time with family. Next week we will go back to normal. I know I said that last week, but I didn't expect I didn't think I wasn't gonna have time to record Monday. I was mistaken. So we had to just push everything back a day. But I actually will see you guys tomorrow with NFL. It's a little bit of a wacky schedule, but yeah, just well, you'll get all 4 videos this week. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with the NFL picks.